Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Railway Empire 2. And today I'm planning, or at least considering, to set up the whole trade loop. No, I'm not considering it. I am planning and doing the whole the whole trading routes north of Vienna, making a connection over here to Breslau and Katowice. So with 8.6, first thing I'm going to do is buy that connection. And once that's done, it's time for track construction, which will be quite fun, I think, considering I need to go over or under these rails. Personally, I think going under would be the best choice. But we'll see that in a bit. Looking at things up over there. So I always have the center tracks. The thing that matters now is, am I able to get a maximum speed out of things? That would do it. Which also means this would do it, because I'm going to follow the same line. I may have made an error if I want to go to Pressburg. Let's see if I'm able to do that without getting into too many problems. Or Maybe I'm playing lucky. I think I'm lucky. Yes, I can remove this now. Probably build tracks straight over the river. Or going down. Let's see. Ah! Look at that. Wonderful. Now, last question. Am I able to do this? If I am, everything will be really good. I am. Look at that. So, tracks to Broom. First part is done. Now I need to work out some other stuff. Because this will become the cargo station. But I will demolish the warehouse. As well as some other things. Let's see what happens if I want to build a station. I will deal with that later. This is cargo line. Because the most suitable to Breslau is indeed over Urban and the salt. But to get there, I think it's a lot smarter to use a different approach. So that means all of this will be demolished. There are multiple trains having a problem right now. Well, I will solve that in a bit. The other one. Grid iron problem solved. In a way. Not completely. In a way. Because I still need to attach this one and that one and those two. But in a way it's solved. Station. And this will be a lot less costly. I also made another mistake. Which I better solve right away. Like that. And another 4-track for obvious reasons. Done. Now it's time to add at least this So at least my that's weird. Links cannot be reached. What are you talking about? Your inputs. This is the only one I can understand. So what I'm going to do next, because there's a lot to be that needs to be rebuilt. Notice that, and go over the salt. Let's see. First of all, let's restore the spot. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. These two are being removed, and I'm going to restore this. So from Broome, I am able to get the cargo going again. I just need to attach via Lova, and I'm going to do that in a somewhat different way, because there's also height lines to take care of. And I made a mistake here. Because very simple. I need to add my passenger transport, and I had forgotten about that. Not all about it. So let's solve this again. And this time work out a better way. Now it works. So from Urban to Yalova. Grid islands at both sides. Extra tracks at both sides. May actually maybe something I really should consider. Add another, what's it called, thingy, resupply station in between here. Nicely in the woods. Now we got something going on over here towards Breslau. Wait. Sometimes things can be so easy. Although it does mean I have to adjust a few things in the future, especially all my supply lanes. But that won't be much of a problem. The other side, But I still haven't figured out how to get the transfer between Vienna and Berlin done. And where? So let's start by building another train station. And we have a connection. We also have an error. Why? Because of that part? Really? I'm going to be that picky today? Don't you think about it? So, done. Time to rename stuff. Let the game run in a bit. Maintenance. There we go. $154. Ooh. And we have several trains going to be deployed, so that's going to be fun. Now let's see. Passengers from Berlin, Zielonogóra, Breslau, Posen. Nuremberg was a hub. Breslau's doing beer. That's from Vienna. It's also Zielonogóra. that's going to cause a problem. Because that means the most beautiful one would actually be Vienna, Linz, no, Vienna, Budweis, Pilsen, Prague, Dresden. Catch up on Zielona Breslau, Katowice, Stilina, Pressburg. But the problem is that Budweis, Pilsen, Prague will all become transfer points. At least I'm afraid they will. Plus, I will miss out on Brünn. Berlin Bridge to Prague? Yes. Brünn, then Prague. No. I'm going to stick to what I had in mind. Attach this to the Prague station and going that way. Right lines, cargo. And track construction. So from Brünn to Urban. That's number one. We drive on the right side. So that from Urban to Bialova. Those are the easy ones. And from Bialova to Zielinski. That's not an easy one, because I have to go through there. So let's start by doing this first. And move everything through here. And up. And even more up. 2% maximum, 1% maximum, 0% maximum. That looks great. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Build. And build. Can I build the other one too? Yes, I can, if I want to. time for the Great Islands again. The thing is, what I'm puzzling with is at some point we're going to get luxury passengers. Which also means that at that point did I do something wrong here? No. Oof. For a moment I feared I did. But that also means that it's likely that at that point I will have to start something like intercapital transportation. Which means from Amsterdam to Berlin, from Berlin to Vienna to Prague, to Paris, to Rome, to Budapest, all the things like that. Warsaw, although that wasn't a capital at that point, at least not in 1842. So all those things I have to keep in mind. And that makes some things a little bit more complicated. It makes other things a little bit easier. I have to keep in mind that at some point my luxury trains may actually use similar routes or shortened routes compared to what I'm currently running. So yeah. Vienna, Prague and then on to Berlin is actually easy. Because I can split it off over here. Except I may have a problem up here. I can actually change that easily. I already should do that. And done. This makes it easier because I can use those tracks to turn that way and eventually connect to Berlin. The only question is, do I have enough space? I do. I've got 4 tracks left. Okay. Wonderful. That's weird. That's very weird. I've never seen that happen. Let's give it another try, because something's very weird going on. Ah, I know. Again. For some reason I had this very weird bug where every once in a while it just happens again, I think. You try to set up tracks and it doesn't want to do what you want it to do. Easily solve that. By rebuilding everything from that point. Try again. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Would you stop fooling around now? Stupid game. Now it works. I don't know what's going on, but it works. Problem solved. So that part is done. I will come back to that later, because currently I'm working here. This is going to be part of the Prague station. And I am working here at the 4 tracks. Leading to cargo stations and passenger stages of the new hub. So let's do that. Not getting distracted. last one. And after that, I'll have to set up the maintenance depots and all the cargo stations. It feels like the angle isn't right. I don't know what it is. Probably me. Let's make sure it's straight this time. Done. And next. I really want to have this set up because it makes it so much easier eventually to set up the routes. Okay, now we had that. Now I need to think, because in Broen, that's the passenger side. I can demolish the hotel and the warehouse, but I can drop off a maintenance depot. This one was completely removed. Maintenance depot. Maintenance depot. And now, train station in Breslau. Perfect. I can build one. Like I said, I can build two.
I like
Unfortunately,
that station. Good luck with it.
unfortunately, the problem is that I have to work from the cargo station once more. And if it was up to me, I would have started with the passenger station. Well, so be it. Because I simply add the passenger station right now. Things are becoming more and more easy. I'll move these first. So, top one was passenger, bottom one is cargo. We hear the sounds of the beer factories. Passenger. Restaurant. Post office. Maintenance. Katowice. I have to go down. The question is, eventually I'm able to do that without a problem. Okay. I will have to connect this part, those are probably iron mines, to Breslau and the network. But I also need to have the logs here, cattle, so I can actually go over these. I can also go over this, going up, connect both somewhat like this, and make a turn into Katowice. And once again, Katowice, I need to start next to the brewery. So, like this. Because I need to go down to Zelina. It's actually more like this. Let's do it like that, which means maintenance depot. Then one over there for both catchment areas. And look at that, we have something over here. And we have something over here. Am I going to use the lower one or the high one? I'm going to use the lower one. which means more like this, going down, going flat. Yeah. Headlines, not much I can do about it. This is going to be one heck of a train ride. Because we're going to zigzag all over the country. Oh well. That was actually wrong. 1, 2, 3. Or wasn't it? 3 empty and then the fourth. 1, 2, 3 empty and the fourth. Then this one going to him. 1, 2, 3 empty and the fourth. And that one going to cut the feature. Over there. Time to do the rest. The other way, I think. Maybe a better idea. This is going to be a fun journey for sure. Especially if I do it the right way. Because the one I'm using now is going to be... Oh, of course. That's going to be passenger track. So I might as well build it. Instead of demolishing it. Just not up here. That's the cargo. Cargo passenger. I still did something wrong over here. What the Let's check again. You gone. You gone. Connect here. And connect there. there. No. $3 million left. I think it's going pretty well actually. And the other one. Let's see what happens. I was afraid of that. Ah. That part's done. Next. Funny that it always picks the wrong direction at first. Next. Trains will still pick the shortest wood, so I have to be careful with that. And I've been thinking about adding waypoints at some point even. But if it's up to me, I prefer to avoid the waypoints. For a very simple reason, they may actually cluster everything up. And I don't want them to do that. Don't ask me why it didn't work and now it does. I have no idea. That wasn't exactly the way I wanted to do things. Oh well, it got the job done eventually, after all, whatever you want to use. But it wasn't what I planned to do. Got the beach. I hope I'm able to build it, because it's awfully tight. Got it. Lots of noise from the cows. So once I've built this, I will use the same thing I always do. Starting with the passenger transport and setting up cargo transport later. And once again, for a very simple reason, passenger transport is where the money is. And while cargo transport is making sure the city is actually growing, check how to get to Zelina. I'm going to be very close to this part. The good news, I can build the passenger tracks first this time. But as I was saying, cargo transport does bring in money. Don't let that be misunderstood. But the passengers is where the money is. I can do the cargo and it will take time. The city will grow eventually. But at that time I also have to deal with all the passengers who want to. Hey, what's this? Why is it behaving this weird? Oh, because of that. No. The game is really doing weird things today. What the heck is this? Yeah, it's really behaving weird today. Very strange. Now it's working as intended. Really strange. Go again. Station. Vienna. Room is Czechia or Slovakia, actually. So I should use another name. Another name for the stations, that is. Now let's see. Also have to be a little bit careful with the height lines and all. And that red part over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously not like that. Okay, that's it, number 4. There's no more room for another track now, which may be a small problem over time. And let's see how that ends up. Station in Zelina. Yeah, I was afraid this was going to be a very fun one. I was afraid of that. but I keep it like this. Because I think it's, well, we don't have it on the passenger train. It may be quite fun to see on a cargo train at some point what it looks like when it simply leaves the station and almost immediately disappears in a tunnel. I think I did that in one of my other games, and I think I even made a video of that during my Transport Fever gaming time, I think. So anybody who wants to see that, well, you know where to look at. Okay, special I did. There's another problem. That's this. So that's going to be fun. Because how do I solve? Well, actually, it's not that complicated. Let's solve it like that. And I'm even very lucky. For now, because I have no idea what name to use. Once again, Pressburg dilemma. Should I head? Passenger is coming to the north side. Cargo is coming at the bottom. I can actually move this direction. Eventually, I have to make a split to visit both stations, but also this part. And another thing, I want to move from Vienna to Pressburg and Budapest. Before going down. So for Pressburg, I have to go from here down, down again, which means patch to Slavoski. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. this book on the north side will be passengers. Create some room to actually move. I already have my passenger track, or at least a part of it. I'm not going to create a bridge that long. Somewhat more decent. And follow the riverbank a bit. But not like this, because I will have to add another track at some point. Without bridges? Without bridges. Pressburg. Um, 1 and 2 is outside that one. This is going to be tricky. Some track. Hey, I'm out of money. That's new. So I'm working with passenger tracks. Which means I have somewhere gone completely wrong. Because cargo on the north, on the south, outside, and here we got passengers on the south. cargo on the south. So one way or another, I have to cross trains. And I'm going wrong on him. And him. And therefore also the one I was building there. Again, this is cargo. This is passenger. Cargo, cargo, passenger. No, one less. Passenger. This is passenger. 2, 1, done. Over there. I'm not in the mood to go 66, so so this is the passenger. That one. Yep. Let's go. 85k. Well, actually a little bit more. Or even better said, a lot more. Because I want to build the double tracks. And we have to keep the trains running for a bit. Good news is it will become cheaper over time. got that part done. So now it's only, I think I let it keep running now. It's only a matter of, there's some lag going on right now. A matter of adding the grid islands and the rest. Yeah, there certainly is some lag going on right now. I don't know what's causing it. Maybe autosave or that may have been the reason that things didn't work earlier. Because previously I wasn't doing this when the game was running, it was paused. There's a big chance I have to replace all of this later. For now I won't. For a very simple reason. I don't know what to do yet. How to solve that hub going south. So there's no need for replacements yet. I want this to be finished so we can enjoy the ride for a while. Let's follow the tracks every time when we get to the city. I think I just finished all of that now. So there's only one more thing to be added. Supply towers. One up here. One between here. Because I will use that grain a lot. I think I just drop a supply tower between each and every city. No, between each and every station, although I doubt it's actually needed. But this is better safe than sorry case. This is going to be tricky because I need to switch at some point. Missed. I still made a mistake. I think. Yep. Nope. Maybe not. Or maybe I did. We'll see. Time to let it run again. And start. "161 stations." Okay. 66 stations. Central. Clockwise. So, room, because I immediately know if everything's working. Then I need to do maintenance. Slow. Katowice. This is going to be tricky because I got 3 stations. So maybe after Breslau I should do maintenance. No, I better do it in Rutkowski. Because I have no stations here. Let's start with passenger. Some name, right? Imperial Railroads Northeast. Passengers. Clockwise. From Urban. Janova. Zielinski. Breslau. Saptovsky. Rutkovsky. Adamski. Katowice is done. Vienna is done. Rogaskova. Olubova. Lesburg. And Wien. Okay. That's one. Copy. Except this one is going to do mail. Curious which one of the two is leaving first. And meanwhile we got other passengers coming in. Or no, that's mail. So the passenger train is going first. Let's go. This looks nice. Big station. I'm really curious about how that bridge they will be doing. Except we won't find out for quite some time. Yeah, we're going to get the annoying horns again. Well, it looks okay. Maybe I should have brought it up a little bit more so we wouldn't have that gap, but then... No. With the tunnel, yeah, it's going to look fine. Quite fine even, because the train barely slows. Never mind, it slows down. Which is a shame, because it shouldn't have done that. Now it needs to climb at a very low speed, so it will never get maximum speed again. But okay, it worked. At least that we know. only curious about what's ahead of us, because I saw a train moving. It's also possible it's a cargo train. Bridge. Yeah, I really think I'm going to revive that bug report about this, because it's quite annoying that it happens this long. Especially if I'm playing on a European map. We don't do this in Europe. Doesn't make any sense. If we do this in Europe, the train would basically honking its horn between each and every station, every millimeter it moves. It's not necessary. Still a train moving ahead of me. That must be a cargo train. Don't know which one. No, don't tell me the game crashed. No, it didn't. Oh, maybe it was saving. Here we go again. 5 minutes of honking horns. Veggies. So it's one of the supply trains. And finally a single one, which is making more sense. Also, by the look of things, I've forgotten two things over here. So, let's do that. First, this. since it's missing at the other side as well. That's going to be a little bit more complicated actually. I might as well do that one too. So we got 46 passengers right now. Let's go. The other one is just coming in. So with that in mind, things are going well. There's the next cargo. Also having, no, not veggies, corn this time. And we're finally accelerating. Simply, in this case it doesn't have to slow down because it's going for maintenance. I was about to say, it simply won't speed up. Let's see if we get to maximum speed this time. I'm also a little bit torn between what to do and what not to do. And that's because we have currently 2 hours at the clock, and I think to do the entire track part will take us another hour. And I think 3 hours is a little bit too long for this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to Breslau, and I stop there, and next episode we will continue with the tour before I start working at all the supply stuff. That way I will accumulate enough funds for the supplies. That's number one. So all the tracks, the trains, etc. I will get enough funds for that. To set that one up. And I even may have enough funding to set up the southern part going into Hungary and the former Yugoslavian republics, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, those, Bosnia, Herzegovina. It seems to be the most reasonable thing to do for me. So, Breslau it is. I think this will be much more interesting. good to watch once all the cargo trains are running here as well. Press now. Looks like it. Yep, because it's splitting up, so there we are. Breslau station. Squeak. And there we are, being unloaded. And the other train is over there. "47 mailbags, and he was having 46 passengers. Yeah, I still think I have to build hotels or something for the passengers to transfer. But problem is, if I do that, I have to build them at a rural station, and that's exactly where I don't want to build them. Anyway, we've got our rail line done. And I've also made a mistake. The plan was to move through here. So next week, one of the first things I'm going to do is reorganize everything over here. We have research open, so let's see what we got. Rehabilitation. Fine, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to wait for workshop teams, because that's somewhat more important. And then we're going for Le Continent. Yep, indeed. Workshop teams Le Continent, and this is going to be done later, because maintenance time, maintenance requirements. So that will take a while, but we can make that. For now, thank you for watching. I will redo this little part over here. And in the next episode we will continue with our train journey. I hope you've been enjoying this episode for this week. Once again, a long one, and I'm afraid that's going to happen a few times until I've got everything done. We have a little bit longer to do. Bourbonnais, this is mixed observation. But this isn't actually added to the train. At some point we got luxury passengers. I have no idea where. Let's see. Consolidation. It's one of the more famous trains actually. Air horn. No, please. So up to this train, everything will be 5% speed. I thought we were getting the luxury passengers in 1870, but guess not. or no, luxury train lines. So that's coming up in 1880. That's when we got a different passenger group, luxury inns. Market halls, restaurants, and we also got the first electro locomotive. So we got the 122 on the steam and the 107 for the electric. So it's the 8080, 8090 that actually starts with the electrical ones. That's going to take a while because we're 8042 right now. So our first focus will be that one. So, as said, I will redo a little bit of the tracks over here, and next week we will continue our journey. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've been enjoying it. I also hope you have a good week. See you next week, everybody. Goodbye.